Let's talk about building a new computer. The big question is, how do I know what to buy to put this thing together? How do I know what works with what? How do I know I'm not buying some shoddy brand? How do I know that what I'm getting is going to last? How do I know what pieces to purchase to put together to build a new machine? That is a huge question, and it doesn't have a simple answer, but I'll give you some ideas on how to find out what you want to know. I just built a new machine myself, did some research, and found some pieces that I'm happy with. So how did I know what to buy? Well, I read a lot. There are several sites to keep your eye on. YouTube is, of course, one of them. Let's see, Linus Tech Tips is huge. Jay's 2 Cents is huge. Just watching the videos that those guys are making will give you an idea of what the popular hardware is at the moment as far as builds go, and give you some great ideas as to what will work within your budget. Can't recommend them enough. I mean, both those channels are huge for very good reason. They'll give you some ideas about what to work with. So you have an idea, but you're not entirely sure. I would recommend going to newegg.com. You don't have to purchase your stuff there, but their website is very, very useful in filtering out different things and giving you some user reviews of different pieces of hardware. It's much more useful as far as computer equipment goes than Amazon is. You may end up buying from Amazon. You may end up buying from CDW or one of the other sites. AliExpress is another big one. I just like to start at Newegg to get an idea of what's popular. So let's just look at their interface here. If you go to newegg.com, it's fairly self-explanatory. All right, so we're at the Newegg homepage, and here's where you can follow these menus to find what you're looking for. Let's say we want a new processor. We're going to go to Components, CPUs, Processors. If you're building it, probably a desktop. We'll just go with that for now. Now this brings up some popular sellers here. You see they have a 5 egg rating system. Anything that's 4 or 5 eggs is probably dependable and reliable. But here we go. Let's look at this series. Let's say we've done our research and we've determined that AMD Ryzen is what we want. And right now, early 2020, AMD Ryzen is what you want. The performance per dollar on these is so far ahead of Intel right now. Highly recommend a Ryzen. For now, that could change at any moment, but at this point in time, AMD Ryzen is the good stuff. So let's look there. The Threadripper is their top of the line stuff. The 9 is pretty pricey. The 3 is their budget build. So from here, you just kind of look, or you can come on down and look at the price. So let's say I want a processor that's between $200 and $350. Click Apply. You're going to get a list of Ryzen processors between $200 and $350. And you can sort these by the best rating. And what you find here is 1700X. These are all very good. Something to keep in mind as far as these go is the first number in the product number is the series of processors that there were. So 1700 is a couple of years old now. So 1600 is $256. 2600 is $201. Let's just filter this down a little bit more. Let's say we want a Ryzen 7 There you go. You got 1700, 1700, 3700. This is $20 more. Or actually, it's the same price as this guy, and it's newer technology. So you only really know that by doing some research on other forums. Reddit, certainly a good resource. There's a website called overclock.net that I highly recommend. So let's say you chose this guy. The next thing you want to look at here is what socket it's using. It's using AM4. 3rd Gen Ryzen using socket AM4. So then you can start doing research on AM4 motherboards, because you're going to need a motherboard to go with your processor. So we can go up here to All Products, Components, Motherboards, AMD motherboard. And we see AM4. There's nearly 1,000 of them. What do you do with that? You can choose by size. You can choose by chipset. On these newer AMD Ryzens, the X570 is the current generation motherboard. I'd recommend looking there if you're looking for current generation stuff. If you're looking for something older, these guys are very good too. Something more of a budget line would be like an X370 maybe. Same kind of thing. Filter it down. I want a full-sized AM4 motherboard between $100 and $200. There's going to be a ton of them. But we can start looking at that. We see this guy. It comes right up front. This is a B450. It's a different chipset. You'd have to do some research to say, how does that compare to the X570? Is it going to support my processor? Is it going to give me all the features that I need for the money? Is it worth the extra $20 for this one? Right now, the X570 is probably what you're looking at. If you're in this price range, AnandTech, Tom's Hardware, other tech blogs are going to help you learn what you're looking for. And then once you have your motherboard and your processor, you start looking at memory. And we'll go to Products, Components, Memory, Desktop Memory. And same kind of thing. How much do I want? These things are usually going to come in pairs. You're probably going to want 16 or 32 gigabytes in a machine that you're building now. Let's go ahead and go for 32. We should go 16 per module. DDR4 3200 is standard. This is if you want something a little bit speedier. You definitely want DDR4. And yeah, let's just see what that gives us. You can see you get a nice pair of RAM for $110, $125, $154. Here's one. Well, that's just a single one for $65. There's $110. This is all perfectly fine, perfectly good stuff. You might want to look at your motherboard's website for their support information to see if there's officially supported memory that they recommend. You might want to stick with something there, or you might want to start reading reviews. Let's look at this guy. If you click up here, it'll take you to the reviews and you can see what other people say. So when you're doing your research, highly recommend looking at different forums, looking at different videos, filtering through Newegg, seeing what works together and seeing what people have to say about it. Because these customer reviews are going to help you more than anything else. It's really intimidating the first time you build a machine, but it's also really rewarding. So, yeah, don't hesitate to post any comments below. So that's the process to choose components for a new machine. I hope that helps. Thank you very much. Bye.